Welcome to the 22-23 Heart of America Athletic Conference Wrestling Media Days. Cody Goodwin here with William Penn Women's Wrestling head coach Tucker Black and Ashley Denny, a member of the roster. How are you guys doing today?
We're good, thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Coach, wanted to start with you. Already got a competition under your guys' belt, been practicing for the better part of a month now. How do you feel about the team early goings this part of the season?
Yeah, I was thrilled with the results on Saturday. We lost six, and we got beat out 6 times by wrestling our own wrestlers. So I think there was definitely an opportunity to place a little bit higher. But that being said, everybody came out and really competed hard, was ready, didn't look like a deer in the headlights. And I think it was affirmation that we've been doing a lot of things right early in the season, positionally, getting them up to speed and just doing the right stuff. So I was pleased.
Absolutely. How much, I know coach is cautiously optimistic maybe during the early part of the season, just because you want to see the athletes compete first, right? Before you really, try and figure out where to go next. What ultimately did you learn about your team, coming out of that competition last weekend?
Yeah, we got some girls that are ready to fight and brawl. They didn't go out there scared at all, and I was just so impressed by that, especially with the freshmen. There's so many freshmen that will come out and go 0-2 right away because they're not ready for it, but they were ready. They looked good, competed hard, and I was just really pleased with their composure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Who are a handful of wrestlers that you're really excited to watch compete and scrap even more, now that the season's underway and next few months, some high level competitions in this conference?
Yeah, I think I guess sitting here with me, Ashley, she's somebody that has made big jumps from last year, I think, and a lot, and she'd probably agree, like maturity wise, in her wrestling. So really excited to see her compete. And more returners like Catherine Steinkamp and Brittany Cotter, who made big jumps over the spring and fall. Just kind of finding that fire and figuring stuff out. And then there's some freshmen that have came in and really impressed right away. Grecia Martinez and like Paige Fuller both competed really well this weekend. Really liked what I saw from them. And then there's some other girls that just looked solid the whole time. So I was pleased.
Absolutely. Wanted to ask you both about this NAIA. Really big jump, really big news to, give women's wrestling that championship status at the collegiate level. Really exciting for the sport as a whole. Coach, I guess we'll start with you. What does this mean for the continued growth of girls and women's wrestling? How impactful can the NAIA, offering championship status do? What can that do for the sport at large?
Oh, I think it's just gonna give more credit, more merit to our conference tournament, to our conference duels, and then eventually the national tournament. We've had the invite the last handful of years, and that's been exciting. But now with it being a qualification process, it's so much more legit. I shouldn't say more legit. It's backed now, and it's a real thing, and it's really encouraging to see. And I think you're going to see quality of the teams, quality of the tournament go up, and it's going to make it a pretty exciting tournament.
Yeah, and you kind of hit on it there, just the NAIA offering this championship status to it. It seems like that's a finish line. Like this was always the goal for NAIA women's wrestling teams, but really there's a lot more that can come from this, right? Like there's a lot more growth still to happen for the sport. Where do you think the biggest steps are going to come next?
Wow, that's a great question. I think we're gonna see just so much athlete quality come in to women's wrestling. And that's not a slight at anybody in the past, but we're really starting to see some multi-sport athletes come into our sport and pick up on it right away, and start making impacts right away. And you're gonna see that change across all levels, from JUCO all the way up to the University of Iowa or some other D2, D3 programs that are in similar positions as us. You're just going to see some really talented athletes that are able to strap on their shoes and put on a show.
Yeah. Ashley, do you want to take a crack at that one?
Just how you said, like the quality of the athletes, quality of the matches, and I think it's growing the sport not just here, but for other young girls as well. Like, parents are gonna be putting their kids into not just volleyball, but like the girls are gonna be put into wrestling and like being able to grow up with that, other than just the boys. And then, yeah, we'll see great improvement in future generations of wrestling, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley, keep going.
Well, I was just gonna to kind of add on to a thought that she had there is I put on a clinic where I'm from a couple weeks ago, and it was really encouraging to see, just a whole lot of like older elementary and middle school girls that were, I knew their families, knew of them, phenomenal athletes, given wrestling a try for the first time. And just as you start to retain more of those girls and get them into the sport, you're going to see just a really good support system and great athletes within women's wrestling.
Very exciting to hear. Very, very exciting to hear. Ashley, you're originally from Texas, which has been one of those states that's really been out front of the girls wrestling side of things at the high school level. And now to be a collegiate athlete when the NAIA decides to take this big jump, how cool has it been from your perspective to really be on the ground and see all of this explosive growth, at the high school level, now collegiately, and we all see and pay attention what's going on with USA Wrestling and, that world stage stuff. Like, how exciting has that been for you to experience?
It's been so exciting. Like, women that I used to look up to and like watch wrestle, I'm actually like seeing them wrestle. I'm wrestling at the same tournaments as them. I'm seeing them, like, it's just like in the neighborhood, like just they're wrestling there. And to be able to be a part of this is just so exciting, because I feel like it's just a bigger thing that's like, it's just wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. How did you get into the sport of wrestling?
Well, we had a field day kind of thing at our gym, and there's only one girl on the team, and then I was on the volleyball team, and they're like, oh, we shall join. And then I kind of just got dared to join, and I just fell in love with it, being able to just have that physical sport and being able to be on my own. Like, what I do on the mat is what I do, and being able to have that all to me, I feel like that's the greatest part of the sport, and it really attracted me to continue and stay and try to grow with it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome to hear. How did you end up coming all the way up here to Iowa to attend William Penn and compete for, a program that's still very brand new, right?
Yeah, this man contacted me, and I was like, you know what? It's a big change. I want a big change. I came here to visit. I just loved the feel of the whole town. And I saw, because it was such a brand new team, I saw myself being able to grow on this team and not have to be fighting teeth and nail for just a spot to wrestle. Like, I'm actually able to comfortably wrestle, being able to comfortably just be on the team. And it's still tooth and nail fighting in the mat room, but it's just not like, I'm able to actually learn and grow on this team. And that's what I liked about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Believe it's the third season for William Penn, right?
Mhm.
Third
Yep.
William Penn women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley, I guess the last question for you, the continued growth and you hear coach being excited about all these young wrestlers that are coming in and moving the program forward. How exciting is that for you? And what are you hoping to maybe see from, out of yourself, one, and also your teammates as the season continues here?
Well, as the season continues, I just would like to see, personally for myself, being able to implicate everything and be smart with everything that I'm implicating on the mat. And same with the other girls, because we work so hard in the mat room, working on moves and positions, and just to be able to watch that happen on the mat is what's the most exciting part, being like, yeah, we're actually learning, we're actually doing this. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Really exciting. Really appreciate you guys making some time for us this afternoon. You got anything else for us before we sign off here?
I'm just, thrilled to be in this position as a coach and be able to watch women's wrestling grow as a sport, being sanctioned at the high school level now, being sanctioned at the NAIA level. I'm just, this team this year has been different in its own way. But I'm starting to see the uniqueness and specialness that they have. I don't know if specialness is a word, you'll have to forgive me, but we just have so many girls that are willing to lace it up each morning and go in the room and fight and scrap. And it's encouraging as a coach to see that. And to know that you're able to watch these girls grow. So really encouraged, pumped about it, and excited to see what the rest of the season holds.
Awesome. Really appreciate you guys making the time for us today. Best of luck in your duel tomorrow, and as well as the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Cody. Have a good one.